Greetings. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Moon Mama. How are you all doing today? Wednesday is the day governed by Mercury, and Mercury is currently at the 6th degree of Aries. So now we have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury, and Chiron all in Aries. Aries is the energy that brings us back to the beginning. And depending on where it falls in your chart, go see where Aries falls in your chart. I actually have Aries in the first house. I have Aries in the first house, and Aries in the first house is my identity, and how I show up. And Aries is this warrior energy. So a lot of people right now are experiencing, it could show up in a couple of different ways. It could show up like wanting to do new things and stepping outside of your comfort zone and facing your fears and being really courageous. And that could feel like, a new business, new relationships, new choices in your life, things that are new and ways of being that are new to you. It's spring, right? The spring of your own consciousness. What's being birthed? What's blossoming inside of you? It could feel like that, which is lovely, but it could also feel like rage. It could also feel like anger and destruction. And, for me, I feel like I'm seething. I feel like I'm just mad at everything. And yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine who grew up similarly to the way that I grew up. Like his father was very pimpish and just, grew up in the hood, very much in the hood. And he was one of those beloved, athletes. So because he grew up in the hood, like he had a girlfriend who did his homework and he could go to her house and eat and just, you guys know that those boys, right? That are, because they are athletic and because they look a certain way, people give them a pass and they don't have to, they're not held accountable in the same way. And so I was listening to him tell this story. And as I was listening, I was like, oh my God, I could feel my rage. I could feel that I was enraged. And I just started listening and asking myself, why are you so angry? And because I remember those boys when I was young, I remember how they got away with things that other people couldn't get away with. I remember how they were treated special in a way that most people weren't treated because they were athletes or because they looked a certain way and all the girls wanted them. And what I know is that I didn't feel pretty enough to be able to get that boy. I didn't feel like that boy was paying attention to me. And the thing that was interesting is that my mother looked the way that, my mother was light skinned with long hair and tall. So I always felt overlooked as a child. I felt neglected in so many ways. And that is what's coming up for me right now as I prepare for this medicine ceremony with my girlfriends, as I'm doing this work to heal. This Aryan energy is the spaces in myself where I felt neglected are coming to the surface. And I'm beginning to see it in my life. Like my website has crashed because I paid the wrong bill, so it looks like I'm neglecting it. Just things like that, right? But I'm sharing this so you can understand how the Aries sun brings us back to those early childhood patterns. And the love of the universe brings us back because we can always heal it. It's never too late. It's not too late to transform. And so that's the energy that's up today. So with Mercury is our mind. It's how we think. It's how we perceive reality. So what is it that you're perceiving today? And how can you look at it in a way that is actually beneficial for you and beneficial to your evolution and growth? So for me, I'm looking at these experiences I'm having, and then I'm asking questions about them. Yesterday, I had this incredible opportunity to be with Tina Lifford. She's going to be a guest on my podcast. She plays Aunt V in Queen Sugar. And we were having this conversation about questions and asking questions. So I'm asking the universe, how can I heal this experience of neglect? how can I open myself up to trust that what I'm experiencing is exactly what I need, that this is for me, that this is not against me. So whatever it is you have going on, if it's anger or rage, or maybe you have the other thing happening where you're just inspired with new things and new ways of being, whatever it is, ask questions like, how can I use this to support? How can I heal from this? How can this support me? What's the benefit here? What's the lesson here? Ask those kinds of questions today, because that is Mercurial, the mind, and that will help you create another reality. The moon is at the 26th degree of Aquarius, and the moon in Aquarius is about detaching, right? And the 26th degree is silence. So in your questioning through that Mercurial 6th degree of regenerating, the 6th degree is regeneration. So as I question about this feeling of neglect, or feeling like I'm being abandoned, or feeling like I don't fit in, I get to regenerate it into something new, because the 6th degree is regeneration. And energy doesn't die. It only transforms and comes into another experience of itself. So how can I regenerate neglect? What are the things you're working with? How can you regenerate rage? How can you regenerate anger? How can you regenerate frustration? The thing to do is not to assign too much meaning, but to give yourself the permission to feel everything you're feeling. Feel everything you're feeling. And in so, the universe will make it into something else. I know I once had this experience of recognizing that, I feel unworthy, like I feel worthless. And I just, rather than making myself wrong, I just sat with it. What does it feel like to feel worthless? What does it feel like to feel unworthy? And I recall sitting with it for probably 3 or 4 days, and then it moved. So don't resist what it is you're feeling. Allow yourself to step into it, to lean into it with love and compassion and curiosity, and it will be transformed into something else. So we are in an incredible opportunity for beginning with the Sun in Aries, Mercury in Aries, Venus in Aries, Chiron in Aries. Chiron, this incredible need to be yourself, to be true to yourself, to be the warrior for yourself. So do your best at doing that today. I'm the Moon Mama. Peace and blessings. I love you all. Have a wonderful day.